I keep getting asked how I grew from around 2,000 subscribers to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube in around 30 days, and how in those same 30 days I also made over $20,000 on YouTube. So I figured we'd just sit down and talk about everything that I've learned, all of the tips that I have for you. To begin with, I think there are two really difficult parts about YouTube. The first part is just starting your channel, and the second part is staying consistent and consistently producing videos. So the reason I think the first part was hard, at least for me, was I had all of these doubts about well, all of these other lawyers are going to judge me and be like, what's she doing on YouTube? And they told me that it was so unprofessional and it would ruin my image. And so I think I had a lot of that, and I think I also doubted whether I would even be good and whether I was just going to embarrass myself. So I actually thought about starting a YouTube channel in August of last year. So you can see on my channel that I created it end of August, but I didn't put out my first video until October 31st of last year. And that's how long it took me to research all the things that I thought I needed to research before starting YouTube and to just gain the confidence to actually post the first video. Once you've gotten over that hurdle of actually starting your YouTube channel and posting your first video, then I think the next hardest thing is just consistency and posting those videos week after week after week, even if you're not seeing the results necessarily, or you're really busy and don't feel like you have the time to do it. It's just like any passive income stream, right? People think there's this get-rich-quick scheme and there's a way to make money quickly. But the reality is there's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. Anyone who claims there is just trying to sell you a $2,000 course. So it's the same thing with YouTube. People expect these instant results and they expect to be making money right away because they see these videos of YouTubers saying, oh, this is how much money I make on YouTube. But the reality is it's not like that. It's a much slower process. For the consistency part, it's also discouraging when you're pouring hours and hours of your time into one video and thinking this is going to be the next hit, and then it just completely flops and you get like 10 views on that video. So it can be a mental grind just trying to stay consistent, even if you're not growing the way you had hoped you would be growing, or that the way that you're seeing other people grow on YouTube. Comparison is really the enemy on YouTube. Once you start fixating on how many views other people are getting in the same niche or how many subscribers they're getting, you can really go down this rabbit hole that's just not productive at all for your channel. My big tip for this is just to focus on what you can control on YouTube and just try not to think about the things that you cannot control. On YouTube, you can control the output, right? So you can control the number of videos that you're putting out. You can control the quality of the videos you're putting out and the amount of time that you spend researching, prepping, scripting, editing them to make them just the best quality that you can possibly make them. And what you can't control how much YouTube shows your video out to people, really. You can't control how many people view your video. You can't control how long they watch your video. So those are the really things that you should focus less on and focus just more on the output and the things that you have control of. From the beginning, and I've said it in this video where I'm setting out to make $200,000 of passive income this year, but from the beginning, my goal for this YouTube channel was always to create one video a week, 52 videos in a year, no matter what, even if I was just getting one view on each video from myself. To me, that's just the absolute best way to do it. Figure out, maybe your thing is one video a week for a year. Maybe it's 2 videos a week for a year. Whatever it is, just set a goal that's output-based like that and stick to it. That's so much better than setting a goal like, oh, I want to have 100,000 subscribers within the first year, because that's not something you have that much control over. So once you pick that output-based goal, whether it's creating 1 video a week for a year or 2 videos a week for a year or 1 video a week for 2 years, just stick with that and remember that that is your goal, not some subscriber count or not some view count. Related to the consistency part, I think it's also very important to create your YouTube channel around a topic that you're genuinely passionate about and love talking about and feel like you're going to have an impact by sharing your passion about that topic with other people. If you're just picking a topic on YouTube that you think can be very profitable and you want to make money with it, I think it's going to be harder to succeed, because when you don't see those instant results, it's going to be a lot easier to get discouraged, versus if you're actually talking about something that you're very passionate about, it's much easier to keep going even if the revenue isn't flowing in. I'm going to dive into the analytics now because, I love talking about money and numbers. But the reason I want to start off with those things and how important it is to stay consistent and have a deeper reason for starting your YouTube channel than just purely making money is because I think that's so important so that you don't quit right before you see success. Because that's the reality of YouTube is most people will quit before they see success on YouTube. I say this because I've only been on YouTube around 8 months, which I feel like is a relatively short time, but already in this 8-month span, I've seen some of the people that I started off with, we had around 100 subscribers at the same time, and their channels had so much potential, they've already quit and stopped posting. So that's why consistency is important. I think as long as you stay consistent and don't give up, you're going to find some level of success on YouTube. And you can't necessarily predict the timeline of when you'll see that success. And obviously success is a very subjective word, but still, I think you're going to find some level that you're very happy with as long as you stay consistent and don't quit. Okay, we're going to jump into analytics now so you can see how on my 7th month on YouTube, I made over $20,000 and how it kind of all unfolded for me. In case it's your first time watching, just as background, my channel is about personal finance. So I cover things like passive income, student loans, investing, and everything related to just making money and saving money. On YouTube, you really have two types of videos. You have evergreen videos and you have trendy videos. Evergreen basically just means that it's always going to be relevant. Something like this video I made, 12 things that I stopped buying, is always going to be relevant, and it's not like it has to be watched this month. It's still going to be applicable to people a year from now, 2 years from now. Trendy is just like it sounds. It's something that's in the news and relevant and people are searching for it. On my channel, I had only ever done evergreen topics, and I really wanted to just avoid trendy topics because I didn't like the fact that the video would be relevant for about a week and then no one would care about it and no one would watch it. I liked the idea of investing my time into creating evergreen content that people could watch a year from now, 2 years from now, and it could still help them. Obviously, I changed my stance on that, and had I not decided to make the switch to trendy topics, there's no way my channel would have grown the way it did. I started to see that there was this huge trend on YouTube, especially in the personal finance niche, talking about stimulus checks. Even though I saw that people were searching for stimulus check videos, I still was hesitant. I wanted to stick with my evergreen content. Then in mid-April, I finally decided, let me try this trendy topic of the stimulus checks. Let me see how it performs. So for that night, I created 2 videos, really short videos, and released them at the exact same time. Just for context, at that time when I released those videos, I had around 2,000 subscribers. And then for monetization on YouTube, I was not monetized. I had around 2,000 hours of watch time, and in order to get monetized on YouTube, it requires 4,000 hours. So I wasn't even close to being monetized. I remember I was looking at the analytics on this video and I was just in complete shock. I couldn't believe it because if you look, you see that in the first day, the typical in this period was 240 views to 340. So that was around my average at that point. I was getting maybe around 300 views for the first day of a video. And for this one, it was over 5,000 views. Then you can see it just kept climbing. It got up to 28,900 views in the first 7 days, which was just unheard of for my channel. I think prior to that, my most popular video was my student loans video, and that had maybe 1,000 views after 6 months. Then, this is pretty important, once you have your first viral video on YouTube, it's really important to continue to push out content that's very similar to that video, because then you already know that you are in the YouTube algorithm's favor. So then the YouTube algorithm will push that next video out to the same audience who saw that first video and clicked on it. I knew that, so then exactly a week after I made this video, then I released this video, just 1 week apart. A few people have asked me if I bought my views or subscribers, and I haven't. I've never done that, but this is the video that really blew up the channel, and you can see here in the analytics. On the first day, it had 68,000 views, and I remember that night, I didn't sleep at all. I stayed up the whole night because I was just refreshing the analytics. I was in shock. And then by the 7th day, it had over 300,000 views. And you can see that just from this video alone, I got over 16,000 subscribers. What I did right with that particular video is, again, it was a really trendy topic. There was a bill proposed at that time for another $2,000 stimulus check, and so many people were searching on it. So what I did, I spent hours creating this 5-minute video. I read the entire bill, and then I created just a summary of it so that people could, at a glance within 5 minutes, understand exactly what the bill said and have a lawyer summarize the bill to them. I think one thing that I did right with that video is I spent a lot of time researching it because I really wanted it to be the best summary of that bill that was out there. So I probably put around 15 hours just creating this video. Another thing I think went well with this video is, for the first time, now it's like my staple, but for the first time, I put the title starting as Lawyer Explains. Another thing that I think went well with this one is I kept it short. It was around 5 minutes and condensed an entire bill into a 5-minute video. And on YouTube, you're actually incentivized to create videos that are longer than 10 minutes because if they are longer than 10 minutes, you can run additional ads in between the video, and that'll result in more ad revenue for you. Because of that, I think sometimes, especially with the stimulus stuff I see, even if there's only 5 minutes worth of content, people intentionally try to drag it out 10 minutes or longer so that they can get that additional ad revenue. And I wasn't really interested in that, so I just kept it short. I kept it at 5 minutes and really tried to get to the point and cut the fluff. Now let's talk about the money aspect of it and my best tips for actually monetizing your YouTube channel, because after all, this is a personal finance channel. If you want exact details on money, then you can watch this video. This is where I actually break it down and give you the exact numbers and show you the analytics screen and everything. But just to give you a recap, so in those first 30 days after I got monetized, I made over $20,000 in those 30 days from YouTube. And this was, mind you, my 7th month of doing YouTube, so it was just a crazy number for me. Roughly 9,000 of it came from ad revenue, so actually running ads on my channel at the beginning of each video. And then 4,000 came from affiliates that I'm partnered with, and my biggest affiliate is Webull. So in every single video, I would just say at the end of it, if you want 2 free stocks from Webull, just get the link below and deposit $100 and you get those 2 free stocks. Something like that. And then roughly 7,000 of it came from sponsorships. My biggest money tip for making money on YouTube is to realize that it's not all about ad revenue. Most people think they have to hit that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time before they can make any money on their YouTube channel, but that's not true at all. You can make money on your YouTube channel through affiliate marketing way before you even get monetized to run ads on your YouTube channel. Even when I had 1,000 subscribers, I proudly made $287 through affiliate referrals in February of this year. You can also see in this breakdown of how much I made those 30 days on YouTube that less than half of it actually came from YouTube ad revenue. So that just shows you how important it is to realize that affiliate marketing and sponsorships, those are just as important to monetizing your YouTube channel. Oh, and I should quickly explain, affiliate marketing is basically where a company pays you to refer your audience to them. So for the Webull example, Webull gives me a free stock every time I send someone over to them and that person deposits $100. Something else that's really important for the monetization aspect of YouTube that I don't actually hear people talking about much is how important it is to network with other YouTubers in your niche. The reason it's so important is especially when you're just starting off and growing, a lot of times those sponsors and those affiliate partners aren't going to come to you and actively seek you out. You have to go seek them out and pitch yourself to them. By building a network and building friendships with people who are making the same types of videos that you are, you're going to find out about some of these opportunities, like opportunities to partner with certain affiliates and opportunities for sponsorships. For sponsorships, the only reason I was able to get those sponsorships is because a friend I have who also has a YouTube channel told me that these companies were actively looking to sponsor videos. When he told me that, that's when I reached out to the company and pitched myself and said, hey, I'm a new YouTube person. I'd love to do a video with you. And that's how these things work. It's usually not that they're actively seeking you, especially if you don't have 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers. It's often that you're finding out about it through friends that you've made in the YouTube community and then actively reaching out to these companies yourself. Now that we've talked about the money, let's talk about the not so pretty side of YouTube. I feel like it wouldn't be a complete YouTube video without telling you about kind of the negative side of starting a channel. The negative side is that you're going to have people on all ends of the spectrum. You're going to have people that don't like you at all and are very vocal about it. And then you're also going to have people that like you a little too much and send you 7 too many emails a day. That's kind of the reality of it. So that part, especially being relatively new on YouTube, has been pretty difficult for me to deal with. Some days when I get terrible comments, even though I plan to make a video, I just don't end up making the video because I feel very discouraged. That's probably the hardest part about YouTube. Everything else I love, but dealing with the negative comments is kind of hard sometimes. And I know you're not supposed to take them personally, but it's hard to ignore how they make you feel, I guess. The one that really got to me this week and just made me sad was this one. You smile so much that it creeps me out. The amount of smiling you do is unprecedented in my opinion. It's like you're faking it. If you're faking it, please stop. It's kind of creepy and uncomfortable. That one hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. And on Tuesday I made a video and I really actively tried not to smile as much. And I know I shouldn't be smiling talking about stimulus stuff because it's all very upsetting. I'm very upset at how the politicians have failed us, really. But I still try to smile because it doesn't help the situation at all for me to be mad and angry about it. And then there's this one. I legitimately don't know if this is an insult or a compliment. It says, "Why does this woman look like she's gonna tell me there's no war in Ba Sing Se?" And it has 163 likes, so I assume it must be really funny or something, but if someone could just explain that one to me, I don't get it. So these are my tips for how to grow quickly on YouTube and how I think I did it. And my biggest tip that I have for you is if you've been contemplating a YouTube channel and you're letting fear of being judged or some other reason stop you, just go for it. I promise it's not as scary as it looks. And if you want comfort, you can go back and watch my first video where I didn't even know how to talk in front of a camera. I was so scared, I was sweating, and I forgot to plug in the mic. Okay, hopefully this video was helpful. If you liked it, please put a thumbs up on it. And now I'll do a full 30 seconds of smiling for Mr. WW212121, who says my smile is creepy and makes him uncomfortable. Just kidding, not 30 seconds. Have a good one.